Beneath miles of darkness, Titanic's second-class decks still whisper. From collapsed staircases to rooms of silence, each corner reveals traces of life frozen in time, beauty, memory, and decay preserved forever in the quiet breath of the deep. Once filled with footsteps and light, the second-class grand staircase now sleeps beneath miles of silence. Its brass railings are veiled in rust, marble steps fractured by time. Fragments of chandeliers drift through the dark, and what was once motion has become stillness, beauty frozen within the heart of the sea. The dining saloon remains like a memory carved in salt and silence. Tables have fallen, glassware lies cracked and buried beneath coral dust. The ocean has turned silver into stone, laughter into echoes. Here, an eternal banquet waits, where the only guests are shadows and the whisper of moving water. Long corridors stretch into endless darkness, lined with doors that lead nowhere. Curtains sway with the slow rhythm of the deep. A single pair of shoes lies near a rusted frame, untouched for decades. Every ripple of light feels like a breath, the ghost of motion still wandering Titanic's quiet halls. Once polished white, the porcelain tubs now cradle silt, coral, and slow-breathing life. Rusted pipes release faint trails of bubbles, like whispers rising from the past. Light moves gently across cracked tiles, revealing beauty in decay, a quiet reminder that even luxury can return to dust. Where laughter once filled the air, only silence remains. A broken doll lies beneath drifting sand, a toy wheel glints faintly in the beam. Through shattered windows, strands of seaweed float like ribbons. The ocean moves softly here, as if afraid to disturb what little memory survives. A desk sits alone beneath the drifting light, its papers long dissolved into silt. Ink bottles rest like fossils, their darkness lost to time. The room feels unfinished, words half-written, thoughts left unsent. The silence here is delicate, like language itself drowned in endless water. A grand piano lies in stillness, its strings quivering faintly with the passing tide. The ocean has claimed its melody, yet the silence hums with a distant rhythm. Light catches the instrument's curve, like a last note hanging in the air, a concert played for no one, forever unfinished. The smoking room is a gallery of time's patience. Glass is overturned, cigars turned to stone, and leather seats wrapped in pale fungus. Once filled with quiet talk and warmth, it now listens only to the sea. The still air holds the shape of vanished voices, suspended in eternal calm. Crates lie open, their contents blurred by salt and shadow. Glass jars, tins, and rusted utensils rest exactly where they fell. The current brushes over them gently, as if turning a page. Each object is a whisper from the living world, preserved in the slow silence of the deep. Rows of bunks lean under thick silt, their iron frames bent by time. A torn uniform sleeve still clings to rusted metal. On the wall, a clock has stopped forever at 2:17. The room feels aware, as if listening the watch never ended, only slowed to the rhythm of the sea. Iron machines once filled with heat now stand cold beneath the sea. Their drums are crusted with coral and lime, threads of fabric drift like ghosts. The current hums through broken pipes, scattering powder-white sand. Every movement feels like breath, a rhythm of work that never truly ended. Here, folded linen has turned to stone. Layers of fabric fuse into pale ridges beneath green moss and glowing microorganisms. The water moves slowly through the folds, brushing what once held warmth. Even in ruin, these textures remember, touch a soft grave sealed by time. Among shattered gauges and corroded wires, faint reflections flicker like dying sparks. The word voltage still gleams through layers of rust. Tiny luminous life swirls in the dark, tracing invisible energy through the wreck. Once lighted by power, the room now glows with quiet biology. A narrow shaft drops endlessly, framed by rusted steps and drifting algae. Each rung fades into shadow as the ROV light descends. Bubbles rise in slow spirals, catching faint color before vanishing. The ladder leads nowhere, now only downward, into the still lungs of the ship. The shelves remain lined with utensils turned to relics. Knives lie crossed on wooden boards, plates shimmer beneath dust. A trace of order survives in the arrangement, as if service was paused mid-motion. The sea keeps everything waiting, frozen in eternal readiness. A tunnel of iron stretches into darkness. Beams lie broken. Wood drifts through the current like slow smoke. The sound of the ocean breathes through the hull, a deep whisper that fills the emptiness. Even the smallest movement here feels like the echo of something once immense. The great boilers stand silent, their surfaces layered in rust and memory. Pipes curl like ribs, releasing faint trails of gas that shimmer upward. Bioluminescent life moves along their edges, replacing heat with light. The heart of power still pulses, not with fire, but with time. Two stairways divide beneath a drifting haze of silt. Mosaics glimmer faintly under the sand, brass railings draped in seaweed. A single fish hovers where light meets shadow. This was once a place of passage, now a quiet crossroad, where the ship seems to dream in peace.
Oxidation.
Titanic, resting as if asleep in the deep.
The floor is layered with melted envelopes and blackened ink. A crab pulls at a paper scrap, lifting it into the current. Through the rusted mail slots, the beam catches fragments, drifting upward messages still traveling, carried endlessly through the deep. The ROV drifts along Titanic's torn flank, where steel has become reef. Red coral burns against rust, fish weave between rivets, and faint light spills through a vast rupture. The camera pulls back, revealing both halves of the ship, fading into black, the moment of breaking, eternal beneath the sea.